Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all the praises, honor, and glorifications to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to the elect. And this video is going to be based upon this article that was posted by CNN. Another sign things are getting weird. Lightning around the North Pole increased dramatically in 2021. Here's the picture so you guys can get a visual. I think this was near Alaska. As extreme weather wreaked havoc across the globe in 2021, a stunning change was happening in the far northern Arctic, largely out of sight but detectable by a network of sensors. Lightning increased significantly in the region around the North Pole, which scientists say is a clear sign of how the climate crisis is altering global weather. Vaisala, an environmental monitoring company that tracks lightning around the world, reported 7,278 lightning strokes occurred last year north of 80 degrees latitude, nearly twice as many as the previous 9 years combined. Arctic lightning is rare, even more so at such far northern latitudes, and scientists use it as a key indicator of the climate crisis, since the phenomena signals warming temperatures in the predominantly frozen region. Lightning occurs in energetic storms associated with an unstable atmosphere, requiring relatively warm and moist air, which is why they primarily occur in tropical latitudes and elsewhere during summer months. The annual number of lightning strokes in the Arctic, the region north of around 65 degrees latitude, has remained consistent over the past decade, but it is now surging significantly in the extreme north. Chris Vygotsky, meteorologist and lightning applications manager at Vaisala, said a warming planet is charging up the Arctic's environment for more lightning to occur. What we've been seeing is that lightning and thunderstorms are developing over Siberia and then moving out over the Arctic Ocean and continuing very far north, Vygotsky told CNN. Underscoring the warm, humid air from all continents are now going out over the Arctic Ocean, and they're persisting over the Arctic Ocean so that you get storms that are developing there. Jose Martinez Claros, a researcher at the University of California, San Diego's Center for Western Weather and Water Extremes, who is not involved with the report, said the findings were concerning. It seems to suggest in the drying and warming climate, these types of storms now reach latitudes that are very much higher than they used to be and closer to the Arctic, he said. A 2021 study also found Arctic lightning had increased between 2010 and 2020, and the trend was strongly linked to global warming, which is caused by fossil fuel emissions. You had to throw that shit in there. We know that the Arctic is changing faster than the rest of the Earth with respect to its climate, Vygotsky said. And so monitoring these trends in thunderstorms and lightning in this very remote area helps us detect where these warm, moist air intrusions are occurring in this region. Lightning in the U.S. also increased in 2021, according to the Vaisala report, where more than 194 million lightning strokes occurred, 24 million more than what was observed in 2020. More than 1 million of those occurred in December, in concert with several unprecedented wintertime severe weather outbreaks that ravaged the central and southern U.S. It was the highest number of strokes researchers have seen in December since 2015, Vygotsky said, noting now, even the December time period, you might be getting spring or summer type conditions, he added. In the U.S., Texas recorded the most lightning last year, primarily due to its large area and warm, storm-prone location, Vaisala reports. Florida saw the highest lightning density than any other state, with 223 lightning events per square mile, followed by Louisiana and Texas. Researchers also found lightning-triggered wildfires burned more than 2 million acres in the U.S. last year. In the drought-stricken West, dry lightning sparked deadly and destructive wildfires, including the Bootleg Fire in Oregon that burned more than 400,000 acres. British Columbia, which typically doesn't experience as much lightning as Canada's central provinces, also saw a particularly rare lightning outbreak, as an unprecedented heat wave seared the region. Between June 30 and July 1st, more than 700,000 lightning strokes were recorded in the province. Vaisala has been detecting lightning in the U.S. for nearly 40 years, and around the planet since 2012. The network detects more than 2 billion lightning events around the world each year, according to Vaisala, including a 2019 lightning event around 32 miles from the North Pole, which set a Guinness World Record for the northernmost lightning stroke ever detected. Vygotsky said as the climate crisis advances and the Arctic continues to warm, changes in far remote regions will have a ripple effect on weather across the planet. All weather is local, Vygotsky said. When you're having these drastic changes, especially in places like the Arctic, those sorts of changes are not just impacting the Arctic. The Earth is totally interconnected. So that's the end of the article. And so there's a lot of changes occurring in the Earth, and fucking E will never give credit to the Most High for this. He'll just, and also the climate change, they're using that to push their agendas, but we know that it's all going back to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. So now I'm going to jump to the scriptures. First, I want to start off with this. Luke 21 and 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. So, we're seeing all these dramatic weather events, storms, tsunamis, hurricanes. Like a few months ago, there was that heavy storm on the East Coast with around the New York, New Jersey, the eastern seaboard. It was people drowned, houses flooded out. Over here in the West Coast, we had those massive fires. Just a personal testimony. I remember one day I went into my backyard and my front yard here in Los Angeles, and it smelled like firewood. The air was hazy. This was probably around like about a year ago or so. There's so many fires, sometimes I lose track, but that one was pretty close to me. And also have earthquakes. You over there in Asia, like the Philippines, you often have those tsunamis that typically, there's usually at least a couple fatal victims. So Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is bringing great judgments upon the earth. And also the fact that they're saying the Arctic is having a higher temperature, that's also part of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. The earth doesn't always have to stay in the same way. The Lord can make changes whenever He wants. to also, and it'll also, of course, that's going to have effects on the people, the inhabitants. And it also says distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. And distress of nations, that's like all these protests, revolutions. Right now we have that uprising in Kazakhstan. They're saying that there's already been police officers killed. Mexico, the cartel, that could be considered the distress of nations. You don't really hear the mainstream reporting on that too often. There's basically every continent has these uprisings and um, uproars of the people going on. And the sea and the waves roaring in the scriptures, you know, that's not only the ocean, but that could also be used to apply to the people are referred to as the seas. All these different nations of people, which are, every there's a biblical name for every person in the Bible. Like the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, there would be the Israelites. Well, Chinese, Africans, so-called whites, they all have their own biblical names. And so now I'm going to keep going. This is the 26th verse, also in Luke 21. Men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. So, these events, they're going to be so dramatic, terrifying that, men are going to be afraid. You're not used to seeing that, men, a strong, tough man, it's that some, people, they say, oh, I'm not afraid of anything. But when Yahweh Hashem Yahushai brings these judgments, then they're really going to know what it is to be afraid. They're not going to have that same, fearless attitude in that day. And for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. So, the powers of heaven, that doesn't literally mean the heavens. That means, these people that are in high positions of power, governments, you know, rich people, they're going to be even shaken in that day. They're not just going to be, in their own little world of luxury. They're also going to be terrified in that day. No one's going to escape the wrath of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Verse 27, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. Right, so that's going to be the time when Yahushai, which is a so-called Negro from the tribe of Judah, he's going to come back to bring judgment on this earth. And it's not going to be a big, happy reunion type of thing, for, like, as most people like to say, well, it's only going to be happy for a certain number of people, the elect. All these nations and also 2/3 of you Israelites out there, it's going to be horrible for y'all, because Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is coming to punish everyone who's not of the elect. Those that haven't been hearkening diligently to the law, statutes, and commandments, and those that aren't called, or Slaki, those that haven't been chosen from the foundations of the earth. Verse 28, and when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Right, and this is speaking to the elect, telling the elect to not be dismayed, and to also to be alert, to pay attention to the signs, because Yahweh Shai is almost here. The redemption, when that word redeem goes into being bought back, the elect is going to be bought back out of the hands of Esau, of this wicked ass fucking world. Yahweh Shai is coming to buy them back, which he's already bought them in his blood, but he's going to physically take them out of this captivity. And also want to get Matthew 16. I'm going to start at verse 1. The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came, and tempting desired him that he would shew them a sign from heaven. Verse 2. He answered and said unto them, When it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times? So, you can interpret it as, today, these scoffers and scorners that don't believe that there's a judgment coming, that they don't believe that we're in the last days. They say, oh, prove to me that we're in the last days, or how do we know that Yahushua is coming back? Well, we have all these signs, and here Yahushua said to them, O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times? So, all these people, they can see these normal worldly things. They can look outside and you can see that it's raining, you can see that it's sunny. They see when these sport teams, fucking the Dodgers, start practicing, they know that it's almost baseball season, but they can't tell all these signs that were written in the scriptures, that when these events begin to take place, that it's almost, that the judgment of Yahushua is, the final judgment is almost here. See, and and they can't see because they're blind. So that's why those of us that have the eyesight, it's even more of a reason for us to be thankful that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has given us the eyesight to see these things. And I have one last thing that I want to bring out. See if this is the one. Yeah, this is it. Matthew 13:10. And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? Verse 11. He answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. So, this knowledge and wisdom of the Holy Scriptures, it's only given to a select few. And to those that can't get it, to those that don't understand, it's because the Lord hasn't given it to them. He's blinded them so that they wouldn't be able to receive this knowledge of salvation. So, that's pretty much all I had to bring out. Lord willing, it was edifying. Once again, I'm going to give all the praises, honor, and glorifications to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to the elect. Shalom and Abad Rabal.